Oh, gnarly, dude. Looks like you just went overboard. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Overboard. We're coming to you live from Texas. Now, we just moved Jenni down here, and my parents they're living in Plano, so I've been helping them move and stuff. As you can see, it's only been a week, and I already got a Texan accent.
Oh my word. Anyhow, like Anthony said, we did just move down to Texas. Do you want to explain why you came down with us?
I mean, I guess it's not really anything difficult. I just had to help them load up the truck. They needed somebody to drive the U-Haul down, and I said, hell yeah, let's go on an adventure, because...
Well, it goes further than that, because...
Does it?
You were supposed to move into your apartment.
Oh, right. Sorry, guys.
Before.
So, I was supposed to move into my apartment before, like, June 1st, and they were like, yeah, you'll be able to move in, before then, and... That ended up not being the case. They didn't even have the carpet put in the apartment yet. Like they had told us was supposed to be done like 2 weeks prior to June 1st, which was the day that we were, I was helping my family move down to Texas here. And so I was like, oh, well, that's great. So now I basically can't move in until I fly back to Michigan now. And so I'm on a mini vacation here in Texas.
Yeah, so Anthony drove down with us. He was supposed to move in the week into his house, which he's living in Michigan still. So he was supposed to move in there, like you said, the week before we left, but they had all those problems. So now he has all of his stuff over at our dad's house to take.
Sitting in a garage.
Yeah.
Basically, I had to help them move. And then I had to move my stuff out into my dad's garage to put in storage. And then when I come back after helping my family move, I have to move
again.
Thrice.
So
this will be the thrice time that I have helped them move. And I'm over it. Moving sucks. It's like one of the worst things. I don't know. It's so tedious and exhausting and annoying. I'm just ready to be posted up in my new apartment, kicked back with a couple of brews. Yeah.
Yeah, so
not really. I don't really care for beer. Beer's gross.
Yeah, so he's here with us for the week. He leaves pretty soon, a couple of days.
On Monday.
To go back.
I leave today. The day this episode would be airing.
Yeah, so he's gone. He'll be leaving now.
I'm gone.
Yeah, he's on a
here.
plane right now.
Yeah, coming to you live from American Airlines.
Yeah. But anyhow, so we decided to drive to Texas because we obviously had to take our all of our stuff with us, and we live in Michigan, so it's like a 17-hour drive, but with like stops and everything, it turned into like probably like a 24-hour drive, like a full day.
It took us till like a full day.
If it hadn't been for like myself and my mom having like health problems and stuff, we probably would have been able to do it in a short amount of time. We got 2 different hotels, so we drove the first night. We drove for like 4 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. We only made it to Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana. And then we stopped and we got a hotel, got up the next morning, and then drove to, how far did we get? Where did we stop the second time?
We stopped in Missouri, I think.
Yeah, I think we were right on the border of Missouri to Oklahoma.
No, we were like in the middle of Missouri when we stopped.
Huh. Okay. So we stopped there, and then we finally got here at like 11 o'clock at night the next day. It took us quite a while to get here. But if it, like I said, if it hadn't been for my mom and my like health problems, we probably wouldn't have had to stop and could have just driven straight through, or at least just stopped once.
Yeah,
instead
maybe
of twice.
stopped once.
Yeah.
Because that's a long drive. Driving for that long is a little crazy. I was bumping though in the U-Haul. I had it all to myself. I had my music, the aux cord popping. I had my drinks, my snacks. I was just cruising. It was chill. And it's negative because like COVID's going on.
Yeah.
But I feel like if all the states weren't like on lockdown because of COVID, the drive would have been much worse because you usually run into like stop and go traffic when you get close to the cities. We didn't run into any traffic at all.
Yeah, there was
nice.
like no one on the roads anywhere. Even when we got into the Dallas area, there wasn't anyone on the roads, which was really surprising. I mean, not surprising because of COVID, but like if you come here when there's not COVID, a pandemic going on.
Dallas roads are real busy. They have like some massive highways. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of things going on down here. Texas, 10 out of 10 recommend to everyone. Dope state, especially the Dallas area. Constant 90 degrees with sun, no clouds, no rain.
Yeah, it's really nice. And in towards Dallas area, like there's different types of climates in Texas because it is so big. But towards the Dallas area, it's pretty like a dry heat. So you don't really sweat. It's more like the way I describe it is like Michigan summer is like being in a steam room. And then Texas, like Dallas, Texas summer is like being in a sauna.
Not even because like the sun's hot here. But like if you're in the shade, you don't really feel anything.
Well,
you don't
I'm saying
feel
if you
hot
like
or cold because it's like body temperature heat almost. It's like if you were in water, that was your exact body temperature. That's how the heat is here. It's weird.
Yeah, but like here in Dallas, if you're like standing in the sun, you're not gonna sweat per se. You're gonna like crisp. Does that make sense? Like where in Michigan, you'd be like drowning in sweat.
You'd be drowning in sweat in 70 degrees with 80% humidity in Michigan.
Yeah. But here it's like 90. It's been 90 to 100 like pretty much the entire time we've been here. And you don't really sweat. You just kind of, you burn. Like you like crisp up.
Yeah, but we're not the weather. So how was your trip down in the car?
Honestly, it kind of sucked. But that's just because like sitting up that long right now is like a really big struggle for me. And yeah, and like music, couldn't listen to music.
You guys didn't listen to music at all?
I listened to it in my headphones for a while, but my headphones always hurt my ears, so then I had to take them out. So we pretty much just rode the entire time like in silence.
That's fucking horrible.
Like just talking and stuff.
That is, I would have lost my crap.
Yeah, Anthony was in the U-Haul and I was in the car with my mom and my stepdad. And my mom has like a hyperacusis from a botched surgery. And so she can't listen to music while she's in the car because it just like messes with her brain and like her equilibrium and all this stuff. So we couldn't listen to music. So that was kind of boring.
Over 20 hours of a car ride in silence.
I mean, we were talking. I don't know. It was fine. It wasn't that bad, but like
that sounds horrible.
The worst part was like right now I can't like walk very well on my own because I get so dizzy. So every time we had to stop at like a rest stop or whatever, I had to be put into my wheelchair.
Yeah, we got our little wheelchair. It's got these.
And it just takes so much like extra time to get it out. And it's just like kind of a nuisance. But like otherwise, I probably would have passed out trying to walk in. So it's like positive and negative at the same time.
I was trying to get her to drift in it, but she wasn't about it.
Yeah, well, that's.
But it was cool. The drive down, we had Walkie Talkies and.
Yeah, because Anthony's map on his phone didn't show the same like route that mine did, and so we couldn't use.
Because I'm an Android person and Jenny's a Apple person, and so Apple Maps sucks compared to Google Maps. always use Google Maps. That's my rule. But anyway, they wouldn't
match up.
We
And
didn't get the
then
same
somehow these walkie-talkies just appeared in our house before we left.
Never seen these walkie-talkies before.
I think they might be our stepdad's, but that's the only explanation I have because I don't think we've ever had walkie-talkies. But somehow they just popped up in our living room like randomly, like everything else was packed, but these 2 walkie-talkies were just sitting there. And my stepdad was like, oh, they don't work. And then I started fiddling with them, got them working. And so, yeah, we just walkie-talkied the entire way down, and I instructed him on where to go and what turns to make and stuff. Which was honestly, like, if you're doing a road trip and you have 2 different cars or something,
It's pretty
I feel
efficient.
like, yeah, because then you don't have to like call them every time and like wait for them to pick up the phone. And I feel like it's not as much of a safety hazard because you just kind of like,
Buzz in, buzz out.
Yeah, buzz in, buzz out.
We
It's
even
real
had
quick.
our own trucker code names. I went by Big Chungus, and Jenny went by Little Skip.
Yeah.
And we'd say when we were finished talking on the walkie-talkies, we'd say over.
Yeah. But Anthony kept on not responding to when I was like, I'd say something and then he just wouldn't say anything back. So I was like,
I had the music blasting.
no, but I would call you and I'd say something and then you'd say something and then I'd say something like about where we were supposed to go. And then he wouldn't reply. And I'm like, did you hear me? Did you hear me? And he still wouldn't reply. And so it started getting frustrating towards the end, but
yeah, because I don't know, like the signal kept going out or something, I think.
It was funny though, because when you're using a walkie-talkie on the highway, obviously, if there's a bunch of trucks going past you, they can like bump into your channel, so you can hear them talking on your channel too, which was kind of funny and weird.
Yeah, because we had like you'd hear like a noise, and then somebody would come through and try and like make contact with us, and then I'd just say, "This Big Chunk is on the line."
Yeah, you said that?
I did a couple times. I said, "This Big Chunk is on the line. How are we doing out there?" And nobody replied. So,
yeah, but it was just really quick.
It made me want to get like a CV trucker radio to tune in with the truckers.
Well, I don't know if you saw it or not, but when I think we were just on the border of Texas and they were doing road work on the side. I don't know. I think they were putting in some sort of piping or something, and it had a sign and it said turn off all two-way communication. So like two-way.
Oh, is that why that it started making that really annoying noise?
Probably because it was, you were supposed to turn off. I turned off mine. I don't think you turned off yours,
no,
but
I didn't know.
You were supposed to turn it off because we were in an explosive zone and the frequencies could have made whatever they were doing explode.
Yo, that would have been lit.
Which is like super scary for like the construction workers to like have to trust other people to turn off their stuff.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, that'd scare the shit out of me.
They don't expect two young folk to have walkie-talkies.
Well, even that, like just detonate. To trust like truckers and stuff to turn off their systems while they're going past. I don't know. I wonder how sensitive whatever the explosive is to frequencies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe like there's some like word that they say that could have like we could have accidentally said that would have like caused somebody to detonate it.
Oh my gosh, no, I don't think so.
It would have been lit. So, dude, when we got into Indiana the first night, there was like we stopped at this hotel, which was right next to like a Culver's and a gas station. And there was a side road in between the hotel we were staying at and then this gas station, right? And as I was like locking up the truck, this like red car with two guys like pulled into the parking lot and then pulled back out onto that side road, but then like parked their car and hid like behind this dumpster to the side of this gas station, right? And so I was like, ooh, that's weird. And then one of the guys got out and went into the gas station. And then the car drove off, waited at the stop sign for a little bit. And then it like turned the corner and then did a loop in another parking lot. And it was like they were waiting for the person, whoever they dropped off. And I thought like maybe this gas station was about to get robbed or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kept looking because I was like, yo, this is a crazy action though. and I mean, nothing ended up happening. It might have been like a drug deal or something, but it was crazy because like the car came and then it like after it did the loop around the other parking lot, it drove back to the hotel parking lot and just waited in the hotel parking lot for the person to come back out.
That's weird.
And I was like, ooh.
When we were
Indiana.
in Missouri, after we were leaving the hotel, we stopped at one of the gas stations. I don't know where in Missouri we were, but we pulled up to this gas station and there were a ton.
I think it was like close to like Springfield or something.
Yeah, I think it was just outside of Springfield somewhere. And there were like a group of like crack addicts
of some sort. They are definitely like
they were tweaking. Yeah. They were definitely tweaking. And we had to get gas, and that was like the only gas station like right there. And I saw one of the guys deal drugs to the other one.
Yeah, and he was it was the normal guy. The normal guy was just like chilling, sitting down. And then it looked like he was waiting for like the tweakers to get some money from the gas station.
I don't even think that, because when we first got there, they weren't even standing next to each other. They were like, the tweakers were on one side and then the guy was like sitting on the curb. And I remember the guy that was sitting on the curb started like saying, like yelling something at them. I don't remember what, but just trying to get their attention. And then they walked over. And then I think they got money from somewhere. And then I saw the drug deal. And then like a couple minutes later, this girl walked up and she gave them money. And I was like, huh. So this girl is like paying for their drugs? And it didn't look like, I don't know.
But then she like hung out. Was that the girl who like hung out with them for after that?
Yeah, she was like with them for a couple minutes. And then she went back across to like a couple times to like, I guess, get money or something.
We were at this gas station for a really long time, it felt like, too. It felt like we were there for like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, while you had to get gas, we had to get gas. And then
but
Walkie Talkies were dying.
Our stepdad was doing something.
Yeah, I don't know. We were there for a while. So we just like, we're watching all this stuff going down. It was just weird. And then finally they like walked away. And
no, they were still on the side of the building when we left. They didn't ever leave that gas station. I think they were just like, I don't know why they're hanging out there, but they kept going like inside the gas station to go like get drinks and stuff.
Well, Carrie said that when he went into the gas station to pay for everything, that the lady that worked there was like, yeah, I hate working here because like they always are coming in and out and it's scary.
Did they even buy anything? Like,
I don't know.
I wonder if they even buy anything.
Maybe.
I would just like call the police.
One of them had a bottle of Jack, and then the other one had something else.
That.
And then one of the guys had like where you would put like your gun in your pants. He had a box of cigarettes, which was like
in his waistband.
Yeah. And I was like, oh.
It was interesting. That was interesting.
And also at that same hotel that we stayed out that night before, we had went to the first hotel. And, okay, first off, let me just explain that there were like probably a good 20 hotels around this area. Like there were hotels,
like big hotels. They weren't like any small fry like motels.
They were like really big, really nice hotels, but none of them had like a ton of cars or anything in their parking lots. But so we went to this first hotel. And my stepdad went in, and it was late at night, so it was like probably 1 o'clock in the morning, I think, when we stopped. And he goes in, and they say they have no beds left. And this hotel has like no one in their parking lot, like no cars.
It seriously looked like there was like maybe 10 cars in their parking lot.
And it was a huge hotel. Huge.
And the hotel, it was like a Holiday Inn or something, and it was huge. And they're like, yeah, we don't have any beds. And I'm like, where are all these people coming? Who is staying here?
Yeah, like who's staying here that doesn't have cars? Like, really? You're all the way packed to capacity? So then we drove to the one next to it, and that's where we ended up staying. But even it took like a good 20 minutes for them to go check if they had any rooms
left. If they had a room.
And again, there was like not that many cars in the parking lot. So we were like, what is going on? Like, why are they all out of rooms?
Yeah, I don't know. This place in Missouri was super weird.
Yeah, it was definitely sketch, but I don't know. We made it out.
Okay, so Oklahoma, that was pretty gnarly. Like, I always thought Oklahoma was like some barren wasteland, but it's actually pretty nice. But what I was surprised with was how the Choctaw, like, tribes, they must like own gas stations there. But then the gas stations, the Choctaw gas stations, some of them have little casinos in them.
Oh, there were casinos everywhere.
Like, how is that legal?
I don't
What kind of deal did they work out? Like, why isn't that like normal for like all the states just to have like Choctaw or just tribal casinos attached to gas stations?
Yeah, like you really want to gamble, forget the scratcher. Let's go gamble.
Well, and it was weird too, because the one we stopped at that had the casino in it, like had an even bigger casino
right next to it. Yeah.
So I was like, what?
I don't know.
Get that gambling.
Well, then when we finally got towards the border, towards Texas, that's when we saw like I'm assuming it's their biggest headquarters of. And it's
maybe
like
one of the biggest Choctaw casinos.
Yeah, and there was like a huge hotel next to it.
And they were building something else. There's like nothing else around it either, which was weird too. I was just like, that was the only sense of civilization, was this giant casino.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of shocked. I don't know if we were in Texas by then or if we were still in Oklahoma, but the ravines, the water ravines or lakes or whatever they were.
I think that was Oklahoma, like southern Oklahoma, right before we crossed into.
It went for
like all those
miles.
Lakes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering what that was, because it was like.
Because at first it looked like a ravine, like the first thing that you came to, and then you continued on for a couple miles, and you're still like there's still water on all sides of you, and then you continue on for another couple miles, and there's still water, and then you'll see like a break in the water for a minute, and then again there's another like
big,
lake or something,
big lakes,
like huge lakes,
and it didn't look like it was like the Mississippi River or anything.
It was really big
past that point, but I don't know. Yeah, I wonder what that was, because there was like massive lakes.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about the fact that it was so hard to find. So right now, for the first year, we're living in an apartment here, and I'm living with my parents still. And this apartment complex is gigantic, like so big. There's 3 pools here? There's a gym. There's
3 pools. There's like a couple different gym areas. And it's literally like a massive like complex. Like it's got apartments, and then I think there's like there's a part where there's like nicer townhomes, but it's all like pretty compact.
Yeah.
In a pretty like tight-knit neighborhood.
And it's
really pretty in my opinion.
No, it's super nice, but so all the buildings are named by like letters, like LELA, AL, whatever. And the thing is that there's like 3 buildings that are LA, 3 buildings that are LE, 3 buildings that are, so on and so forth. And they all have the same like street address on them. And so when we were trying to find, but your apartment number isn't on the outside of the apartment anywhere.
Apartment numbers aren't like really on the outside of the building.
So it was like we were driving around for a good 30 minutes trying to
Well,
find
you
this
guys
apartment.
are annoying because they were literally looking for the actual like apartment
No,
number
we weren't.
instead of the actual like address that they sent me to follow.
We weren't looking for the actual
Yeah, you were
apartment
looking
number.
for like the LE like 10 whatever.
It's on the building somewhere.
No,
Somebody told us. We pulled over and we were
I
like,
didn't see it.
we were like, how do we know where we're at? And they were like, well, there's a little plaque on the side that has like whatever LE building on it, but she said it's like really small, so you have to drive around the building to try to find it.
Yeah, I only saw a couple buildings that had those.
No, she said that all of them do.
But there was like an actual address like for the building itself, and they weren't paying attention to that until I said something. And then we found it. But it took us like literally like 45 minutes once we got here. We were just tired.
It's definitely like way different than living in Michigan. Just like everything's super clean. The streets are super clean.
Like not like litter. Like people didn't like litter or anything.
There's no litter anywhere. Everything's super green. They have like sprinklers and stuff everywhere.
And then like there's a couple block. Like I think it's like 2 very small blocks. It's like not even like a 5-minute walk. Like there's a hotel in the middle of this complex and then a giant like fountain, like pond area. Like it's so crazy pretty. And then you walk a little bit farther and there's like it almost has like its own downtown shopping area with all these restaurants and cool shops.
Mm-hmm.
So it like completely is like self-sustaining. It's really, I don't know, Legacy is gnarly.
Yeah, and instead of keys, they have like codes and stuff, which is weird.
Yeah, it's like a touchpad door.
Yeah, which you had one in Ann Arbor, but
I mean, yeah, but I press buttons on that.
Yeah, this one's like a touch screen.
Yeah, screen, and it lights up, and it is automatic.
Very futuristic. That's pretty cool, though. I hope that hopefully, part of the reason that I moved down here with my parents was because the treatment center, 4 Pots, which is what I have, is down here, and it's the only treatment center in the entire world, 4 Pots. And so I started that this week, and we'll hopefully see some progress in my symptoms and stuff. So then hopefully I can actually get out and go enjoy
the area.
Yeah, enjoy this area and also go into like the Dallas area and check that out.
Because there's a lot going on. Even like when we went to Frisco the other day, Frisco is pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
It's not like super, you can tell it's like new and people like they're still building it up.
Yeah.
But like the Dallas Cowboys training facility is there. Mm-hmm. And then that has its own like shopping area and restaurants and shops. There's I like crap my pants because there was a GameStop has a training center for esports.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's literally like a state of the art training center for esports where like you can like go in with like your League of Legends team or whatever, and they literally have like state of the art rooms with like the fastest speeds, best graphics, all that stuff. Lounge areas. It's got its own like bar and not brewery, but like bar with taps and everything, just for you to like go game and for actual professional esports teams to like get their training in.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, I like crap myself because, I'm a gamer. I'm a huge nerd. And I thought that was super cool. It made me wish I was into a PC gamer like most of these esports people are. But I'm a console gamer, alas.
Alas.
PS, PlayStation for the win.
Yeah, there's so much growth going on around here too. Like there's it's like any major city that like there's constantly construction going on. But
forget California, like Texas is popping though.
I feel like a lot of people from California are starting to move to Texas because they're realizing like California is not as great as everybody.
It's just overcrowded and overhyped, and I think they're looking for something new. And then they're also taxing the heck out of everybody and the corporations there. So a lot of corporations right now are moving to Texas. So If you're looking for a good job and good weather, come to Texas.
Yeah.
Tejas.
But yeah, so that was our little adventure down here and what we kind of think so far of Texas. And
yeah, you can already tell that we're loving it.
Yeah, and hopefully Anthony ends up coming back.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I wish there was more of here, and maybe it's just not this area of Texas, is like I like of course, the lakes that we have in Michigan are just like
that's what I'm gonna miss the
insane. Yeah, like they're everywhere. Like you could probably drive like 10 minutes in any direction and hit a lake. 15 minutes in any direction. I don't know, something like that. And I also like noticed I haven't looked really, but I haven't really seen any like state parks or like nature preserves. Like,
oh, I'm sure there's
Michigan has like a lot of like nature trails that take you through the woods and go by some of the lakes and stuff. And I haven't noticed any, but I'm sure Texas probably has some pretty cool ones.
Yeah, they just gotta look them up. I'm sure they have tons of them.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's I think it for this podcast. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Remember to go follow us over on Instagram at Overboard X Podcast. That's Overboard, the letter X Podcast. And we will see you next week.
See ya.
We'll get to steadier waters eventually.